You can't hate your neighbor in your mind if you keep it stayed. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. When people think about the Underground Railroad, they think about a train. Charles Blockson talks about the Underground Railroad, how it wasn't underground, but it was above ground. And it wasn't a train, it was actually a network of people and places and routes for slaves to escape to freedom. The Underground Railroad actually had many stops through Pennsylvania, and the whole idea of coming through Pennsylvania and Centre County was because there were station masters here and also a church that was a site for the Underground Railroad. I read a slave narrative that talked about how a slave was told to come to Bellefonte and escape on the Underground Railroad. The Lynn House in Bellefonte as a house that housed slaves within the proximity of the St. Paul's AME Church, but also the railroad was part of a network. And a lot of people are not familiar with the fact that Penn State was very involved with abolition. Many other of the founders were involved in Black history and the community. And for instance, Professor Hastings, he actually brought Frederick Douglass here to speak as part of a lecture and abolitionist tour. Governor Curtin was very close to Lincoln. Governor Curtin went to Gettysburg, and when he got there and he saw the way the colored troops were not interred properly, he had them reburied and actually put a marker, a colored memorial for the colored troops in front of the Bellefonte Courthouse. There's so much hidden history that students can now uncover in the 21st century to learn more about the history of Centre County. But we're presently starting an Underground Railroad Institute for youth to be held at the church, where the children will meet 1-2 Saturdays a month and learn about the history of the Underground Railroad, and also have Penn State students come and help with the Institute.
My view has always been that history is a patchwork, and you learn a part and then you learn another part, and after a while, as the parts grow, they start to weave together and you get a full view of how things are. And what I wanted him to learn from this was two things. First was to understand the actual events that took place, and the second thing is to have a fuller view of the war and the issues surrounding it and his place within that.
The founders of Penn State and the people in the community and the whole context of the Underground Railroad, I think, changed the legacy of what would be to come for the future of Penn State University and the people that would live here.
And how their paths crossed.